Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. I hope we're all doing well and enjoying the sunshine. It's certainly been warm here in the UK, and I hope you're all coping. But today, what we're doing today, yes, I have got some pickups for you. Yeah, got DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks from various sources, eBay, Amazon, but mostly CX, which has got some great stuff from CX, which I shall proceed and show you. Yeah, let's get on with this. Enough whiffle waffle. The first one being a DVD, Against the Wall. Kyle MacLachlan, Samuel L. Jackson. Now, I was watching somebody's YouTube video the other day, and they had picked this up and was talking about it, and I'm not quite sure whose video it was, so I apologise that they were talking it up, and it's obviously talked it up enough for me to go and buy a copy. It was only a couple of quid. Directed by John Frankenheimer. Now that could have been the reason. And now, yeah, now I think of it, I seem to think maybe Jodie was talking about Frankenheimer, so maybe you're responsible for this, Jodie. Let me know down below. Yeah, I too am a big John Frankenheimer fan, so that is probably the catalyst to why I picked this up. Yeah, don't know much about it, again, other than it's a prison drama, some sort of prison rebellion, I think. But for a couple of quid, I picked it up. Against the Wall. Next up, and I was watching another YouTube video. Yeah, that's how easily led I am. I watch YouTube videos and buy movies, but hey oh, we all do it, I think. And the video I was watching was about violent films that are streaming on Amazon Prime, but this was an American video. And one of them was a modern day Western which ticks boxes for me called Sweet Vengeance. Now, it took me a while to find it because it was an American YouTube video and it's called something different. It was called Vengeance something in America. So it took me a while to track it down, but having now tracked it down, it is one I should be watching soon because it does look really good. Ed Harris, January Jones, Jason Isaacs, Eduardo Noriega. Yeah, I always used to be just into me classical westerns, but as I've got older and probably from the influence of watching guys on here, I've been getting into my modern day westerns recently. I watched one yesterday actually, Blackthorn, which you'll see me talking about on the weekly watches, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, Sweet Vengeance, that looks a good one. So that's the two DVDs. Now the Blu-rays. Now this next one, I was watching Ash's video, Popcorn and Horror, and he picked this one up and was talking about it. And the name there, can you see that, Billy Moore? That piqued my interest because I watch a YouTuber called Billy Moore, and what he does, he goes round sort of inner city areas, deprived towns, and that, and gets under the skin of the local community, digs around, finds out what the problems are, uh, talks to like the homeless people, the people with drug problems and stuff like that, and they make for really interesting videos. Now, I didn't know a lot about Billy himself, but from watching his videos, he's alluded to that he has had problems in his past with addiction and crime, and also that he was a fighter. So when I saw Ash talking about this film and it was about a Billy Moore, I did a bit of digging around on the internet and found out that it is actually this YouTuber that I watched, and I had no idea that it had a film made about him previously, and that film is Pray Before Dawn, and it's about this guy who is an MMA fighter, and he gets arrested in Thailand, I think it is, and imprisoned, and he basically has to fight for his freedom. So yeah, having know a bit about the guy from watching his YouTube videos, I'm now really interested in watching this. it's starring Joe Cole, which I assume isn't the ex-Chelsea and West Ham United footballer. I don't really know Joe Cole, an actor. So that'll be a new discovery for me. Yeah, A Prayer Before Dawn, one that I'm really interested in. Oh, next up was a charity shop find, actually, and a film I've never seen, and quite glad that I found it, because I don't think it's got a UK release, and that's City Slickers. Like I say, I've never seen the film. I know it's supposed to be good. Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, Bruno Kirby. I think it's about some city guys who go out to try the life of the Old West with cattle herding and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it looks like a good commentary, one that's going to be interested in, and a German Blu-ray. Yeah, not bad for £1 that. Next up, Amazon, and another Billy Crystal, and I believe Bruno Kirby is in this one as well, along with Meg Ryan, and that is When Harry Met Sally, a film that I've seen years and years ago. Probably like watching it again for the first time when I get around to watching it. A look at platonic friendship, I believe, and if that platonic friendship, is that possible to turn it into love? And yeah, it has one famous scene in it I'm sure you all know, When Harry Met Sally. Now, next up, the rest of the stack, they're all from CEX, and if you remember me talking before I went to Lancaster, I think, a guy had been into my local CEX shop, and I think he'd had money issues or something, had to move away, and traded in a collection of 200 4Ks and Blu-rays, and some bloody great titles in there, and there still is in there. So when I was moving into this new movie room, I dug out quite a bit of stuff that I've watched and not interested in, or I don't think I'll ever watch, and I traded it in for a big voucher, which I took to Lancaster with me and got some stuff, and I knew what was left on that voucher. I was going to go and hit this guy's vouchers when I got back to Rugby, my hometown, and yeah, I got some good stuff. A lot of blind buys, but going by the talent that's in them, I know that I'm going to like the films. I know the blind buys, a lot of them, but I know the films I'm going to enjoy. The first one being, and this one is a blind buy, directed by Peter Yates, Peter O'Toole, Murphy's War. This is the limited edition indicator Blu-ray. You can tell the limited indicator, God, that's easy for me to say. Limited edition indicators. Try saying that after a few beers. You can tell them because the cover goes all the way to the top, whereas, let me get a normal release. The cover on a normal release, it doesn't go all the way to the top and leaves a bit of the clear case. I didn't know that until James pointed it out, funnily enough, so I've got James to thank for that. Yeah, Murphy's Law, Peter O'Toole. I believe this is about a guy who's the only survivor from a German attack on his ship in the Second World War. So being the only survivor, he's determined to get retribution on the Nazis, which sounds right up my street. I know I'm going to like that film. The next one is a film I have seen that Eureka released a little while ago and has been on my radar since. A 1970s disaster type film, Juggernaut, where there's some bombs planted on a ship and they've got to get to them before they explode. Great cast from what I remember. Yeah, Richard Harris, Omar Sharif, David Ammings, Anthony Hopkins, Shirley Knight, Ian Holm, Clifton James, dear old Roy Kinnear, like Roy Kinnear, directed by Richard Lester, another great director. Yeah, I remember really enjoying this. So, no-brainer when I saw this in there. I knew I was going to grab that. And next one, again a blind buy, Charles Bronson, Telly Savalas, Violent City. Now, this is directed by the Italian director. Can't see it. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Sergio Salino, which I've seen a couple of his films and I've liked them both. The Big Gun Down, I like to think, with Lee Van Cleef, and Run Man Run in the Eureka as well, and also Western with Klaus Kinski, I believe. No, it's gone out of my head now. But yeah, so a director that I have enjoyed all his films. Charles Bronson, in my younger days, I didn't like him. I always thought he was a bit dour, but as I've got older, he's grown on me. So there's a lot of his filmography I've still to get through. That's why I probably haven't seen this one yet. Violent City. And next up, another film, A Blind Boy, but again, it's always been on my radar, and it's one that's not readily available. Tequila Sunrise with Mel Gibson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell. Yes, another great cast, and just that talent involved. Raul Julia's in here as well. I know I'm going to like this film. I think it's about drug smuggling and the drug cartels in Mexico and that sort of thing. Yeah, Tequila Sunrise. Again, if you've seen these films, let me know down below. But that I know I'm going to like that one. And this one, again, purely because of the talent involved, another blind boy, a dandy in aspic, directed by Anthony Mann, which is the main reason I picked this up. Love me Anthony Mann films, particularly his films with Jimmy Stewart. But again, the talent involved, Lawrence Harvey, Tom Courtney, Mia Farrow, who I've just watched in the other day, which you'll see on the weekly watches, See No Evil, which was a very good film. I believe this is a spy type thriller, and just again, a broken record, the talent involved, I know I'm going to like it. And now, yes, another Charles Bronson film, directed by Michael Winner, The Mechanic. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Big J's films were influenced by this one. Or I believe they were. I don't think it's just a coincidence in they have the same title. So again, let me know if that is correct. Again, Bronson, like I said, one that's grown on me over the years. So I haven't seen this, but I'm sure I'm going to enjoy this. Next up, another blind boy. I got this actually because it was really about £10 or something. The 4K of Air America. And just reading the synopsis, it sounds a bit like American Made that I watched not too recently, the Tom Cruise film, which I really enjoyed. So it's along that sort of lines. I'm going to enjoy it. Directed by Richard Spottiswoode. Now, I have seen a film of his recently, and I want to say it's The Sixth Day with Arnie. Again, I might be talking out the back of my head here all the way through this video. But yeah, Air America looks like decent adventure film, one that I'm sure I'm going to enjoy. Now, the last title and the best title that I've picked, the best edition that I've got in it all, and when I saw this guy had traded it in, I just knew I was going to pick this up. By no means this one is a blind boy. This is probably the film I've watched the most times ever, and that is Arrow limited edition 4K release of The Great Escape. Now, if I'd had vouchers, I wouldn't have picked this up because it was quite a lot for this channel. It was £32. So yeah, with vouchers, I didn't mind getting it. I wanted it when it first come out, but I'm a budget collector and I weren't prepared to pay the £30 for it that they wanted on release. And then it went out of print, so I thought I'd missed the boat. So I was glad to see it in there with me vouchers. I was going to have that all day long. Loved The Great Escape. Probably the best prisoner of war film. One of the best ensemble cast you'll ever see in a film, and I'm looking forward now to checking out the 4K transfer, and it's got, as Arrow always do, loaded with special features, documentaries, a look at the real escape, and it's also got The Great Escape 2, which I haven't seen, as a special feature, and not just as a Blu-ray copy as they normally do when they do that, but it's actually a 4K copy. So yeah, I've heard that's a terrible film, but I should give it a watch anyway. I won't get this out and let you have a look. You've seen umpteen videos of people unboxing this. Yeah, I won't bore you with it, but I'm really chuffed now to pick it up. So that's it, guys. That's everything I've grabbed over the last week and a half, something like that. Quite a lot for a week, I know, but I just had to attack that guy's trade-ins, and there's loads there that I can still get, so I might go through, because I've got various things as well that I know I'm not going to watch. I've grabbed that ages ago in the indicator sale for peanuts, and am I ever going to watch them? Probably not. So I might have a go through and get out stuff like that and trade it in and have another attack, because there's some bloody good titles there. So anyway, that's enough of that. Thanks for watching, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you like what I've done here today. Maybe think about subscribing if you want to hear more of this. I'll catch you all on the next video. Enjoy the sunshine. You be good. Ta-ra.